Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. This is episode 198. Hope you're all doing great on this last weekend of May. Hey, we have a great Tech It Out for you this hour. We're going to kick things off in a moment with a chat about, get this, 3D printed teeth. After that, it's a look at electric vehicles and what's new in charging times. Also this hour, digital photo frames are making a comeback. And finally, SanDisk will drop by this hour to chat about its just announced SanDisk Professional line of storage coming this summer. All of this and more on a brand new Tech It Out, powered by Asus, which I'll tell you more about shortly. But let's officially kick off the show with our first interview. You've heard of 3D printed action figures or coffee mugs. There's cufflinks and even car parts. But how about 3D printed teeth? Well, it sounds like science fiction. This is precisely what a company called Desktop Health is doing with its new Flexcera product line. It's brand new to the market. And joining us to talk about it is Dr. Ryan Dunlop. He's a dentist and leading expert when it comes to dental implants and digital dentistry as well. Welcome to the show, Dr. Dunlop.
Thanks. It's nice to be here.
May I call you Ryan? Even though I do like the alliteration of Dr. Dunlop, though. Up to you.
That's fine. Either is fine. Just don't call me late for dinner.
There you go. All right. Fair enough. Now, before we talk tech, tell us a bit about your practice. You're in Fresno, correct?
Yeah, so I'm a general dentist by training. I have a large sedation, general, and implant dentistry practice here in sunny Fresno, California. I've been a dentist for about 15 years and love living here. And the practice has really taken off since we've started 3D printing teeth.
Okay, so you're doing it in your practice or you've partnered with Desktop Health, the company that has created Flexcera. Can you maybe clarify your role and your partnership or relationship?
Sure. So I'm a private practitioner. I have my own dental office, but I also own a full-service dental lab, as well as an education company. So I'm able to use Desktop Health and Envision Tech's equipment and their Flexcera resins to custom 3D print new smiles for my patients while they wait.
Awesome. Thanks for the clarification. So obviously tech is changing every industry, and it's been especially accelerated since the start of the pandemic, I'd argue. But is this true for dentistry as well? Like tech is really changing how you take care of your patients?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. Dentistry has always been on the forefront of technology. We've readily embraced new technologies as they come to the market. But this new revolution of 3D printing dental prosthetics is really the latest wave, and it's a huge revolution for the industry.
All right. So with that in mind, talk to us about what's called Flexcera. That's Flexcera. As I said in my introduction, Dr. Dunlop, it does sound like science fiction, but tell us what it is. We're talking literally 3D printing teeth.
Right. So a 3D printer is basically a bioplotter. It plots resin that's cured by a light in X, Y, and Z planes. So as the build platform of the printer is growing inside the machine, something that is attached to the build platform is growing in 3D space. And there's a special lens that's projecting a specific frequency of light to perfectly cure the resin as it grows. So at the end of the print job, you have a three-dimensional object that is an exact replica of what you designed on a CAD/CAM software.
Amazing. All right. And what's that printed material made of? You called it a resin, but is it like ceramic or like what's the material? And is it durable enough to have in your mouth and have you eat food when we don't call you late for dinner?
Yeah. So in the past, 3D printing was slow. It was cumbersome. It wasn't very accurate. And the resins that we used to print dental stuff were not very strong, and they were very brittle. With the advent of the Flexcera resin, which is a very, very exciting long-chain polymer technology, we're able to impart the strength of a ceramic with the flexibility of a plastic. And that's where Flexcera sets itself apart in the industry. Up until now, we have not had a resin, which is basically a plastic, that incorporated the strength of ceramics. And now we're crossing over into an era where we're able to custom 3D print semi-permanent restorations for our patients, which is a huge leap forward.
So you mentioned the word custom. So your patients, I'm assuming, first have their mouth scanned in 3D. Maybe you can walk us through how it works to create that custom tooth replacement or teeth replacement.
Right. So in a purely digital workflow, we don't want to have to take messy, goopy impressions anymore. So we use the invention called an intraoral scanner, which is basically an optical scanner that captures three-dimensional shapes in space. By doing that, we're able to accurately capture a three-dimensional record of the patient's smile and put it into a CAD/CAM computer software. From there, we can custom design anything that we want, from a crown to veneers to a partial to a denture to a full mouth reconstruction. We are able to then send those files to the 3D printer and have them printed in a matter of minutes.
All right. We're chatting with Dr. Ryan Dunlop, a dentist and leading expert in dental implants. He also has, with his practice, a lab that can 3D print this Flexcera product. It's 3D printed teeth, believe it or not. Are these like dentures, for lack of a better phrase, or you can do individual teeth as well?
Yeah, so you can do anything that the dentist desires, from a single tooth restoration, like a crown, to a full mouth reconstruction on a denture or on dental implants. Okay. So the reason why it's called Flexcera is because it flexes intrinsically, but also it provides the dentist with a huge flexible array of options for their patients. So we're now not stuck with just a few options for patients. We can really customize the dental treatment to what they truly need.
So do most of your patients have individual teeth that are replaced with Flexcera, or are they getting their whole mouth done?
Most of the patients who I see in my practice are full arch or full mouth reconstruction patients. So patients who have lost the battle with their teeth and they're ready to move on to something else. Okay. So at that point, we remove their teeth, we place dental implants into their bone, and we use that as a new foundation, a new structure to build their new smile. And that's where we use the Flexcera resin most.
Okay, thanks for the clarification. Yeah, so I have, for example, a sole implant, but my dad is at the age where he's, at the dentist every other week and his teeth are falling apart. He's in his mid-70s. And I think, I'm like, Dad, it's time to just get, whether it's dentures or some other solution, just do it. Just get it done because it'll cost a lot less in the long run. And we will get to cost, by the way, in a moment, Dr. Dunlop, even though I recognize it's going to vary greatly. But before we wrap up, I know this is new technology, but it is FDA approved. And how long does the process take?
The process to get a new smile with the Flexcera resin can take as little as one visit.
Wow.
So you can literally go into the dentist who's prepared for this and have an evaluation done, have treatment done, and have 3D printed teeth made while you wait, which is something that most dentists up until now have not been able to provide as a service. So that's the real game changer there, is single day customized dentistry.
So literally while you wait, you can have your mouth scanned. The teeth are printed that fast, really? And then you can put them in the patient's mouth?
Absolutely. Do it every day.
That's amazing. And it is FDA approved?
Yeah, so Envision Tech and Desktop Health got FDA approval for this, I think, at the beginning of April.
Okay.
And we have been going full steam ahead since then.
How many practitioners like yourself across the country are doing this currently?
Not too many. That's one of the reasons we're embarking on this educational and media blitz to try and increase awareness. I think that most dentists know about 3D printing, but they're a little bit scared to jump in. And we're trying to make that more accessible and more attainable for the average dentist. I would say probably about 20% of dentists out there are embracing this technology, but we want to get that up to about 80 or 90%.
That's even pretty high for this new technology. Now, I'm not going to go into pricing for dentists. This is a consumer-facing show, but for the average patient, what are we looking at to start? I guess with a single tooth on average, given that there's no complications, all the way up to an entire mouth done. Can you give us an idea? Is it a lot more money than dentures? I would assume so. Right.
So in the traditional dentistry, if you were missing one tooth, you'd have to have that tooth taken out and maybe have a bridge made or a partial denture or a single tooth implant. And that would probably cost you anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 just to fix one tooth.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The Flexcera resin does allow for for a little bit more streamlined of a process, but the technology is still new. So I wouldn't say that there's much of a price deduction in terms of to the consumer.
Sure.
On the full arch or full mouth side, I definitely think that there's an advantage. I think that these Flexcera resins can be used as restorations at a lower price point. In the past, I would probably say that many dentists charge $50,000 or more to do full reconstructive surgery using traditional methods. And I do think that this technology with the Flexcera resin and the fast printing is going to drive that price point down a little bit. It's more accessible. So you're probably looking at the $30,000 to $50,000 range for many dental offices as a price to the consumer to replace their entire dentition.
And if you get your whole mouth done and let's say one tooth for some reason breaks off, you can have that 3D printed tooth created again, or do you have to do the whole mouth?
Yeah, you hit on a great point. In this modern era of digital dentistry, the files that we create for the patient are saved in our database. In the past, you'd have a technician making one denture or one tooth, and that's the only one that they have. If it breaks or it gets lost, you have to make a new one from scratch. Well, nowadays, if I have a patient who trips and falls or breaks their Flexcera smile on something, they can literally call us and tell us what happened, and we can have a new one waiting for them by the time they get in.
Wow. The future is here. Hey, it's been really great chatting with you, Dr. Dunlop. Thanks so much for your time. Is there a website where we can learn more about it?
Absolutely. I would advise people to check out desktophealth.com.
Okay, desktophealth.com. And then your own websites would be?
My dental practice website, which is betterlifedentistry.com. And then my education platform is fullarchmasters.com, fullarchmasters with an S.com.
Okay. Thanks again for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay. My pleasure.
Okay. 3D printed teeth. When we return on Tech It Out, we're going to learn about EVs, specifically the Hyundai Ioniq and what it has to offer. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, everyone. This show is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, including its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, monitors, smartphones, smart watches, tablets, and much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. With more vaccines in arms and summer road trip season nearly upon us, no doubt there will be more cars on the road. According to a survey by Car Gurus, about half of car shoppers say they view their cars as an escape for fun, and 1 in 3 say they expect to use their vehicle more often when the pandemic is over. But with more cars on the road, which means more emissions, what does this do to the environment? While they've been around for a few years, it may be now time to finally invest in an EV, an electric vehicle. Joining us to discuss is automotive expert Manuel Carrillo III.
Hey, Mark.
Great to chat with you. I understand that you've partnered with Hyundai to chat with me about EVs or the evolution of electric vehicles. So why don't we jump right in? Before we talk about EVs, how would you say the pandemic influenced car culture?
So pre-pandemic, Mark, I think a lot of people were just looking at their cars as, as Sting said in that song, packed in, like lemmings in shiny metal boxes, people just trying to go from point A to point B. Now the pandemic, with increased emphasis on isolation, now the car is this holy grail of sanctitude of escape pod benefits. Mm-hmm. So, you have your personal pod of personal space away from anybody's germs. It feels like a very comfortable place to be, and people are turning to their little escape pods for their comfort as we begin to exit this pandemic.
Right. Interesting. So, as I hinted on in the introduction, with more cars on the road, how do EVs, electric vehicles, address the concern over emissions and things like climate change?
So the average vehicle internal combustion engine vehicle emits about 14 tons of CO2 per year. Comparatively, an EV is basically zero. So if you multiply that across hundreds of thousands of people who are buying EVs each year, that is tons and tons. I mean, I can't do the math. I'm a journalist. I'm not a mathematician. but that's a lot of tons of CO2 removed from the road each year. And so that really pays dividends for future generations looking forward.
Mm-hmm, sure. And what would you say are the latest features that EVs have to offer?
So ultimately, ultimately, when people think of EVs, there's a hesitancy about range anxiety, charging times, and what have you. With the Hyundai Ioniq 5 sitting behind me in the studio that we're in right now as I broadcast to you, this is a really, really cool, innovative vehicle because it has this new 800-volt charging system, so you can put up to 350 kilowatts of charging into this. Ultimately, what that means is that you can go from a 10% to an 80% charge in just 18 minutes. And if you don't have 18 minutes, let's say you only have 5 minutes, on that new 800-volt system, that means 68 miles of increased range in just 5 minutes. So in the equivalent amount of time that it takes to fill up an entire gas tank, which would give you about 400 miles in a gas engine, still 68 miles on an electric vehicle, that's pretty advanced for what we're seeing right now, and that definitely reduces range anxiety.
Yeah, no doubt. What's the overall range of this vehicle?
So it goes up to as high as 300 for the rear-wheel drive version, and then all-wheel drive versions can go as high as 269 miles. Okay,
still, again, far enough for most to eliminate the range anxiety felt among some of the first generation of EV owners, I'd argue. And this new charging technology, is it like at a station? It's not for residential use.
That's correct. So Hyundai has partnered with Electrify America, and they're the nation's largest fast-charging DC network, currently with more than 600 stations across the country, and they're targeting about 800 plus by the end of this year. So also, Hyundai has partnered with Electrify America to offer free, unlimited charging sessions up to 30 minutes long for the first 2 years of ownership. So really incredible value for people who are looking to get out of gas and into electric vehicles.
We're chatting with automotive expert Manuel Carrillo III. We're talking about EVs, what's new, including a new Hyundai model as well. When it comes to the latest trends in EVs, how are they responding to consumer needs today?
So, consumer needs I think consumer needs aren't really shifting that much, apart from the pandemic changing, the travel, data that you shared at the beginning of the segment. Ultimately, people want safety. Ultimately, people want efficiency, a lot of bang for their buck, and this simply, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 simply carries that forward into the electric world. And so you have all the the standard adaptive or advanced driver assistance systems like adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist and stuff like that. So you have that transferred, but in addition to that, with the EV platforms, you can cram a lot more interior space into a smaller footprint. So Hyundai Ioniq 5, for instance, it's a compact crossover SUV, yet it has a wheelbase longer than the midsize, the largest SUV that Hyundai makes, the Palisade. So it's about 4 inches longer, and so you can pack so much more space and comfort into a smaller footprint. So for people who are looking to have a lot of space inside and have a vehicle that's really easy to park in urban scenarios, that definitely kind of gives you, allows you to have your cake and eat it too, really.
Is this vehicle available now? And if so, what's the starting cost?
So Hyundai has yet to release the starting price yet, but it will go on sale in the fall of this year, and the price will be announced closer to the on-sale date.
And are some states eligible for any kind of tax credit or on a federal level for buying an EV?
If you buy a Hyundai Ioniq 5, for instance, you are eligible for the $7,500 tax credit. And then, the local state-by-state tax credits obviously change per state,
Not to mention you'll never have to buy gas ever again.
That's going to be a good thing for a lot of people, indeed.
Yeah, no doubt. And the environment, as you hinted at as well. So as we wrap up, where would you recommend our listeners go for more info?
If anybody wants to hear more information about the Hyundai Ioniq 5, HyundaiUSA.com has all the info.
All right, Manuel, thank you so much for your time. All the best.
Yeah, thanks so much.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
You're listening to Tech It Out on the Radio America Network. With so many of us now capturing images on our smartphones, just how are you enjoying those memories later on? You look through them here and there on your small device maybe, or maybe upload some to Instagram or Facebook. Well, digital photo frames may be making a comeback, loaded with new features and without breaking the bank. Joining us to talk about PhotoSpring is Charles Huang. He's the company's co-founder. Welcome to the show, Charles.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Talk to us about your digital photo frames. First, you can bring us up to speed about what these are exactly, and then let's talk about what makes the PhotoSpring frames unique.
In a nutshell, digital photo frames as a product category are devices. It's a screen device that is designed to display photos and some display videos so that the user will be able to see all of the pictures that they take out in plain sight. Mm-hmm. You know, the way that people are taking pictures now with their smartphones, and don't forget video. There's so much video out there right now because it's just so easy to take good video with the smartphones. The content is definitely piling up. The digital photo frame product category is just an easy way to get the content off the phones, off the computers, out in plain sight so that you can enjoy them every day.
So this could be mounted to a wall like a regular picture frame, or on like a night table or a kitchen counter or something, propped up like a paper photo frame.
Yes, there are different ways to display the digital photo frames. Many are wall mountable, and then others just are countertop or tabletop friendly.
And what makes the PhotoSpring lineup unique compared to the competition?
As a device, it's really easy to send photos and videos so that you can get them to the frame almost as quickly as you send them. And it's a great way to share. So a lot of our digital photo frame customers will buy PhotoSpring for their parents and send them photos of the grandkids so that they can enjoy the grandkids every day. Now, PhotoSpring is unique, and there's three great features on PhotoSpring. One is PhotoSpring has robust support for video. We support video up to 1 gigabyte in file size for one video. So that'll let you see a video up to about 5 minutes long. We have album creation feature on the PhotoSpring. So what you can do is you can use the touch screen on the PhotoSpring to select certain pictures, make those into an album, and then you can play a slideshow, a thematic slideshow of those pictures in that album. And there's this one feature that I really find is fun, is that we allow users to send photos from their PhotoSpring to an email address. So imagine a situation where, let's see me. Okay, so I have a PhotoSpring, and I'm connected with my brother and my sister-in-law and just different people. And they send me photos periodically. Now, if I see a photo that is really cute and, there's another person in my group that would like to see it, what I can do is on the PhotoSpring, I can select that photo. I can actually select up to about 3-4 photos at a time. And I can enter an email address, and the PhotoSpring frame will email those photos to the person that I chose. So that just extends the whole sharing concept of PhotoSpring.
Got it. All right. Now, it's no secret that digital photo frames were popular a few years ago, and even as you said, that they seem to have fizzled out. Do you feel that they are primed for a comeback?
Definitely. Back then, and remember, I was part of it back then, 15 years ago? Back then, it was a good attempt with the technology that was available at that time. But right now, in the current environment that we're in, with the smartphones and app usage and cloud computing, the technology has changed so much that it makes the digital photo frame experience thousands times better than what it was 15 years ago. What really impresses and encourages me is the amount of comments that we get from our users that PhotoSpring has become part of their daily routine. And if they miss a day with it, they feel like something's missing.
That's great. That must be very rewarding to hear that. With that being said, Charles, and we are chatting with Charles Huang. He's the co-founder of the company PhotoSpring, which is also the name of the family of digital photo frames. Based on the feedback I get from my listeners, not all of them are tech savvy. Are PhotoSprings easy to use? To send something like a photo or a video to a relative's PhotoSpring at their home?
Yeah, Mark. So we actually spent a long time thinking about this question, and we designed PhotoSpring to be as easy to use as possible with the technology that's available now. So when someone receives a PhotoSpring, the only thing that they need to do is to select their Wi-Fi access point at their home and enter the password to get connected to the internet. After that, they'll enter in their name, and all this is done through the touch screen. And once they're all set up, they can start sending photos to their PhotoSpring. Or if they're what we call a passive user, they'll wait, and family members are going to send photos, and they don't have to do anything.
Is it like a special email that the family member will give out to relatives?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So there's actually 3 ways that you can send photos and video to the PhotoSpring. One is if you create a frame email, and this will be a specific email address for your PhotoSpring. You can give that out to family members, and they can send emails to your PhotoSpring with photos and video as attachment. They can use the PhotoSpring app, which is available for iPhone and Android, and they can use a web browser at my.photospring.com, which is our portal.
Awesome. So before we wrap up, Charles, tell us about the two different models that are available and the differences between the two and prices as well.
We have the PhotoSpring 10 Premium and the PhotoSpring 10 Frame. Now, both of these are equipped with a black frame molding if you like the traditional frame look. Both are designed to allow the black frame molding to be removed, and you can display it as a more modern look. Some people will say it looks like a tablet. The key difference between these two is that the PhotoSpring 10 Premium comes with a stand, so that if you remove the black frame molding, you can have it displayed in the stand, and it has a magnetic connector that will detach automatically when you pick it up out of the stand. The PhotoSpring 10 Premium has a battery that will run for about 4 hours on a full charge, and we have longer capacity batteries if you have special events where you need a longer battery life, whereas the PhotoSpring 10 Frame will run on AC power.
Okay, as the name suggests, they're both 10 inches?
Yes, so both of them have 10-inch screens that's measured across the diagonal. Both of the PhotoSpring 10 models do come with stereo speakers, so that when you're playing video, you're going to be able to hear what's happening in the video.
Okay, and then the prices for these two different models?
The current pricing that we have is that the PhotoSpring 10 Premium is selling for $169, and the PhotoSpring 10 Frame is selling for $139. Both of them are available from our company website at photospring.com, or you can also conveniently find them at amazon.com or walmart.com.
Oh, okay. Great distribution. All right. Thank you so much, Charles. Again, it's called PhotoSpring at photospring.com. I hope it does well for you. Great to chat with you. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mark.
You're listening to Tech It Out, powered by ASUS, for those in search of incredible. When we return, we're going to catch up with SanDisk. Stick with us.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. It was a big week for Western Digital as they had a bunch of announcements tied to new storage solutions. We're going to learn about one family of new devices right now, collectively called SanDisk Professional. To tell us about the new brand, we're joined on the line by Christina Garza, Senior Marketing Manager at Western Digital, the parent company to SanDisk and WD and other storage brands as well. Welcome back to the show, Christina. Good to chat with you.
Hey, Mark. Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Sure. So this week, Western Digital unveiled its new SanDisk Professional brand of storage solutions. At a high level, do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Sure. So SanDisk Professional's intention is to really round out the already robust portfolio that Western Digital has with WD and SanDisk. And by adding SanDisk Professional, we're now able to deliver global solutions to professionals everywhere whose lives depend on mission-critical content and who require very reliable, ultra-performing products to help get their job done. So with SanDisk Professional, what we're doing is delivering a really robust portfolio for premium pro-grade tools that help empower professionals to be more efficient and then ultimately save them time, which saves them money at the end of the day with a powerful portfolio of products.
Okay, got it. So it's ideal for professionals, including content creators. Do you have some examples of some professions that you might think that this is ideal for? Maybe like photographers and videographers?
Absolutely. So we've been very strong in the media and entertainment industry with our professional grade products from G Technology. And so what we're doing is combining those products from G Technology, the G Drive and the G Raid products that people have known and loved from the media and entertainment industry with independent pros to cinematographers and DITs. And we're pulling those key products into this SanDisk Professional brand to be able to continuing to deliver incredible equipment that combines high quality design with pro-grade performance to that M&E audience, and also find new customers in new industries that we know are already using external storage who have that mission critical content. So that could be anywhere from healthcare, IT, research and development, anything that requires really reliable, high performing tools to help them ultimately get their job done from a storage perspective.
Got it. What are DITs?
Digital imaging technicians. So DITs,
okay.
You see them with their carts on production sets, and they do a lot of the media management.
So you touched on design and high performance. Is there a couple of unique features of this SanDisk brand that makes them stand out from the rest? Is it that they're faster, that you can access data or write data faster when they're connected to a laptop? Is it more durable? Can it hold more files?
Yeah, I think it depends on the solution you're looking for. So from the perspective of high end, so I did touch on that, and we're going to continue to design our products in such a way that deliver that high end look and feel that looks as good on the desk as the other professional grade equipment that our customers are using. Mm-hmm. But when we get into what makes us different, well, we use ultra reliable parts that help us deliver that long-term durability and reliability to our customers, such as the UltraStar enterprise class hard drives inside of our external storage devices. And with those, we're now able in our G-Raid shuttle to offer up to 144 terabytes of enterprise class storage on your desk, or you can take it with you as you travel. So our goal in paired with that, as much as we love the capacity that we deliver, if you're filling up a device such as that with that high capacity, that's a massive amount of data that you're going to be putting and transferring and saving, and you need to be able to access it, transfer it, share it incredibly quickly. So performance paired with capacity is what sets us apart, and that ultra reliability, that long-term reliability that our pros depend on to get their job done is also one of the factors that we will continue to build into these key products. From a rugged and durability standpoint, when you look at our portable SSDs under the SanDisk Professional line, we'll be delivering ultra rugged durability with high IP ratings up to IP67, crush proof, waterproof, all those things that people rely on to ensure that no matter where they're going with their mission critical content, we can preserve it. We can ensure it's going to get from one place to another in a safe way. So all those little pieces and details that we put into our products are what are going to set us apart in the marketplace.
We are chatting with Christina Garza, Senior Marketing Manager at Western Digital. We're learning about the new SanDisk Professional line of products. So without further ado, Christina, please walk us through some of the different options out there or soon to be released. I'll ask you about timing, of course. But let's start with the Pro Cinema CF Express VPG 400. Bit of a mouthful.
Yeah, we have to make sure it's recognizable when people are searching for a certain card. Our Pro Cinema CF Express VPG 400 card is going to be the first card introduced under the SanDisk Professional line. And that card is really intended for more of that professional use case. The VPG 400 is going to give us a minimum of 400 megabytes per second right to the card. And that's not a new technology, but it is going to be new for SanDisk Professional to finally offer that over to our customers. It's going to have a rugged build, so it'll be very durable. And it's, of course, as you know, with the CF Express, it's going to be incredibly fast. So being able to deliver the new technologies that are out there to our customers right out of the gate, and the durability and rugged design that they're looking for to keep their media safe, as well as those high performance speeds with this card.
Can you clarify what kind of card it is? So CF, is it compact flash? It's like sort of like a big and thicker postage stamp that a lot of professional shooters use?
It's a little bit bigger, yes, than a traditional SD card.
Yeah.
It's a little more rectangular, if you will, with the arrow at the top. So yeah, it's the CF Express, which is definitely the higher performing end of the cards that we offer.
Okay, great. We're going to continue chatting with Christina Garza, Senior Marketing Manager at Western Digital, about the new SanDisk Professional line when we return, so stick with us. You're listening to Tech It Out on the Radio America Network. I'm your host, Mark Saltzman. More with SanDisk coming right up after this.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
We're chatting with Christina Garza from SanDisk about the new SanDisk Professional line of storage solutions for content creators, photographers, videographers, YouTubers, and so on. We just heard about the CF Express card. Now let's hear about the Pro Reader series.
Yes, so we're very excited to finally offer some incredibly high performance Pro Readers. So we have Pro Readers for CF Express, CFast. We have a multi-card reader for USD, CF, SD, micro SD. and also a red mini mag reader as well. And so the intention of these Pro readers is to deliver the performance that can help match the performance of the card. You want to make sure as fast as your cards are capturing, they're Pro grade cards, that you're offloading them and ingesting them and getting to work on that media as quickly as possible with these Pro grade readers. They're all aluminum. What that all aluminum also helps do is pull the heat away from the card to help with those sustained transfer speeds, so that you don't have too much heat affecting the performance of the card. They're stackable, and the best part about these readers is that they work really well with our other brand new product that we're announcing, the Pro Dock 4.
All right, let's hear about it.
So the Pro Dock 4 is our high performance 4-bay reader docking station. It will be Thunderbolt 3. It'll have 4 bays where any of the 4 readers I just listed off can integrate into the docking station, and you get 4 simultaneous offloads from each of those 4 readers. They have a USB-C connection to them. So one thing I failed to mention with the readers that they are USB-C. They are super speed 10 gigabit per second.
Great.
So that you'll get the high performance that USB-C offers. So you can use them individually or into the docking station. They also have that USB-C connection, so you can pop them in. And again, have 4 simultaneous offloads. You can customize it with the readers that you need. If you're using 4 red cameras, you can have 4 readers in that. If you're using multiple cards, you can have the different readers in there. It's got a bunch of different ports on the front. You have USB-C ports, a USB-A, just in case you have charging to do. It has an incredible amount of power, so you can also charge your devices at the same time. It's really there to make you more efficient, especially from they're limiting how many ports are on computers now. And so if you have one plug from the docking station to the computer, you can leverage all the other ports that the dock has on it so that you don't have to take up those ports on your computer.
Yeah, got it. So it's like a 4-in-1 hub.
That's correct. Yeah. And it's also, because it's Thunderbolt 3, you can daisy chain them together if you need to add on more readers.
Oh, cool.
And so it's quite a tool for our professional photographers and cinematographers out there that need to work quickly from camera to getting it ingested into storage and working with the media. That's what this is intended to do.
All right, why don't we end off on solid state? I believe it's a 4 terabyte G drive, armor lock encrypted NVMe. So it's an external SSD drive. Correct.
And this is one of our newest SSDs that came to market last year. And we are now offering this product up to 4 terabytes. We have a 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, and now 4 terabytes of massive SSD capacity on the go. The best part about this product is that it's got this incredible armor lock technology inside that allows you to leverage your phone and an app on the phone and the biometrics on your phone to quickly lock and unlock the drive. So it's got encryption, as you mentioned, but it has a very personalized way of and more modern way of unlocking the device that's incredibly secure. You use your phone now to unlock your car, unlock your house, your hotel room, and now you can use your phone to unlock your external SSD as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can see a lot of professionals liking that convenience and security. So these are all not available just yet. Just to clarify, everything that we've gone through, the ProCinema VPG 400, that CF Express card, all the way through the reader and the dock, and then finally the NVMe SSD or solid state drive. So is there a website that you could recommend, and is there some timing that we could share with the listeners?
Yes, to learn more about any of these products, please visit SanDiskProfessional.com. The products will be available throughout the summer. So from early June through end of August, hopefully we'll have these products shipping and in your hands, but throughout summer, we will have a variety of these products shipping.
All right, SanDiskProfessional.com. Thanks so much for your time, Christine. Always great to chat with you. This is a big announcement, so thanks for sharing it with us.
Thank you, Mark, as always.
And thank you to the listeners for tuning into Tech It Out once again, whether you're listening to us on your local radio station, in podcast form. I love hearing from you, so you can hit me up on social media. It's Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, SALTZMAN. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. A huge thank you to ASUS that creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. Visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. Have a great rest of your weekend. again, everyone. Catch up with you next weekend for another episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.